Chase Matthew, thanks for making time. Appreciate this.
We're here, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, the reason I say thanks for making time is that you've got a lot going on. You're about to hit the road. You said you're a little closer to your dad where you should have been on Father's Day. How was the weekend?
Weekend was great. We've had a well, I'll tell you, Father's Day turned into, hey, let's work on some boats. And so we've been working on my dad's boat all last night. Damn near pulled an all-nighter, but I think we're gonna try to get it out on the water today. So celebrate Father's Day a day later, but I'm just glad I'm here. We got a lot going on, like you said, and got to make the days count.
Yeah, you're not kidding about that. Now, I do know you do have somewhat of a mechanical background in addition to music. So what was wrong with the boat and how'd you fix it?
Well, I've never been a big boat guy. I'm not a big boat mechanic, but when it comes to mechanic and just engineering altogether, it's kind of self-explanatory for the most part for me. I guess that's not a normal thing for everybody else, but maybe it's just the way my brain works. But so I kind of, well, it started with the prop was acting up. My dad's actually on the other side of the phone right now. It started with the prop acting up, and so we fixed that. And then one of the coolant hoses that pulls off the water from the lake came off, and so we fixed that. And then now the linkage is jacked up. So when you put it in forward, it goes in reverse. When you put it in reverse, it goes forward, and that just doesn't work. We can't go on the lake in reverse. So, but yeah, man, it's coming together, and yeah, gotta love that you still get your hands dirty even when you're in the spotlight. Sometimes I think that's what keeps me humble.
I can't wait till you're in the spotlight this weekend. You're about to hit the road on Keith Urban's tour. And now, have you already been out with Keith in Australia? I know you had that coming up, or is that later in 2025?
Yeah, I have not. I've not been on. I haven't been to Australia ever in my life. And so this is going to be the first time later this year we're going out there. And I think that's going to be, just such a great time because obviously, Keith is Australian. And so to go to Australia with him is probably like going to Australia with royalty for your first time. So I'm pretty excited, man. I'm pretty excited. And, we've had a good run of shows so far. And we've been all over the East Coast. And so it's been a real eye opener too, to just see like the fan base that Keith has. And they're so diehard for him. And also getting to go out there and watch the show every night. It's just a party.
It really is. I've seen Keith a pile of times, and it's always just 6,000 RPM. I've never seen anyone with a guitar in their hand quite like Keith Urban. But part of the beauty of going to a show like that, Keith's done an amazing job of putting together an awesome lineup to open up the show, and that includes you. So for fans who may be going to see Chase Matthew for the first time in advance of Keith Urban, what can they expect?
Man, I think we have a 30-minute set list, but we make it shake and we rock it hard, dude. We've got everything from originals to cover songs. Our cover set includes a bunch of classic rock and roll songs, even some punk rock stuff. I think that with me, I just like great music, and I think that's the same thing with Keith. And so we wanted to bring a variety of stuff to the table with our show. It's high energy. We're always throwing out T-shirts, hats, getting the crowd hype, and we're direct support. So it's our job for sure to get everybody excited for Keith. It's a full-time job, but it's fun, man. And obviously there's Alana Springsteen also on this tour, and Carly Scott Collins, and two amazing young ladies that just badasses, and definitely encourage everybody to come watch them too.
And show up on time, because and see acts like yourself and Alana and Carly, because there was a show my daughter and I went to, and we happened to be running late. Normally I like to show up right on time to see everybody. I made it through the second of the openers. The one I missed turned out to be Ella Langley.
Oh man, and look at what she's done. So it's like, don't miss your opportunity to catch it early before it blows up.
Yeah, well, and I know that you've got the gas in the tank to make sure everybody's ready for Keith Urban, because over my time going to CRS down in Nashville, we've been treated to see Chase Matthews live. And trust me when I say, people, if you're going to see Keith Urban, again, give yourself lots of time, because this guy's going to get the show warmed up big time. Chase, how is 2025? I know we talked about your live dates, but you've had a big 2025 already in terms of releasing new music too.
Yeah, man. I mean, we started off the year overseas. We went over to the UK and Europe. And again, like, that was my first time there too. So starting the year off like that, and with our own headline stuff and hitting C to C, those were great. Jumping on the Keith tour obviously we're going to be out on this tour till about October and finishing it in downtown Nashville in my hometown. You know, I'm a Nashville native. I'm from there. So that'll be cool. And then this fall, we got some pretty big announcements coming. So I'll leave it at that. But you guys, everyone listening, you definitely want to be locked in because I know something you don't. And I can't tell you just yet, but it's going to be really cool. And I want everyone to be a part of it that wants to be. So yeah, man, it's going to be a really good time. This fall, we got another tour we're announcing, and we're going to be all over.
I'm so tempted to try to grind you for the answer, but I won't put you in that situation.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time, man. We'll see you there. That's all I'll say.
Right on. You mentioned you're a Nashville native, and it's fascinating to me to think of a Nashville native kind of, you know, you grew up in that area, but I wouldn't think the shine is any less glossy making your Grand Ole Opry debut as you've already done, whether you're from Nashville or not. That must have been an incredible experience.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, man, people say it the same way, but there's a reason because that's the only way you can explain it. And there's no explanation, though. There's no way to explain how it feels standing in that circle. That's what everybody says. And that's the truth. When they asked me after I did it, how do you explain it? I don't know how to explain it. There is something magical, like spiritual about that circle, man. There is some history there. And there's a reason that they lit it up in lights because you know, it's a benchmark moment in any artist's career in this industry. I think that the Grand Ole Opry carrying the tradition that it does, there's a lot of respect in anybody that gets to make a performance there and anyone that gets an opportunity to, you know, tell their story on that stage. And every time I get to go back, I relive that first moment, you know, and crying and just, you know, worrying if my outfit was the right choice and worrying if, you know, family were getting in and everything was getting taken care of. And, you know, it's just, you want everything to go right. And when you're in that circle, everything just goes away and you just you focus on the moment and the moment, you know, that'd be a good song title. The Moment.
Yeah. Maybe we'll hang around. You and I will write a song together.
Let's go. Hold on.
Be the closest to
this little floss water right here. We get the guitar going. You know, I'm in a musical family. When they got a fly swatter, it looks like a daggum guitar.
Well, you are from a musical family, and you said your dad's on the other side of the phone that I assume you're recording on right now. And I know a part of your story here. Yeah, let's bring him in on this. There he is. Hello, Dad.
Sitting on the porch of Grandma's house.
Maybe I should interview your dad because a part of the story is when you decided you were going to take on music full time, that included leaving school. But what I love is I get the sense your parents wanted to make sure that you followed through on what you said you were going to do. And so far, so good.
Do you want to come to the other side of the camera?
Amen to that one.
He just said amen to that one.
But, you know, when your child says, you know, I want to take on music, music's my thing, I wouldn't blame a parent for saying, get an education and get a job. But for you, I get the sense there was never a plan B.
Yeah, it's actually funny you say that because that's kind of my slogan, man. There isn't a plan B. It's always been, you know, I dropped out of high school and I don't think it was the best decision. And I don't think that my parents were like, oh, that's okay either. You know, they didn't say, oh, it's okay to drop out and, you know, not finish your school. And I think that God had a plan though. And, you know, it played out how it was supposed to. And if I wouldn't have dropped out when I did, I wouldn't have learned so many lessons that I think I wouldn't have learned today, the knowledge that I wouldn't have today. And, you know, I'm still learning every day. We all are, right? But I think that when it comes to chasing your dreams, the best thing you can do as a parent, I'm not a parent that I know of, but I think the best thing you can do is just encourage your kids to chase their dreams. Because I know for me, I'd rather die trying than die knowing I never tried, you know?
Yeah, I think it's so cool that your parents supported that as well. And so far, like I say, you've lived up to your end of the deal. Hey, you know who else I read didn't finish high school?
Who's that?
Keith Urban.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's worked out pretty good for him. It's working out well for you. You're going to be together Saturday in Toronto, June 21st, the Budweiser stage. Now, is there any questions about Canada you would like to ask of me?
Oh, dude. Are you going to have Tim Hortons ready?
Oh, my, because I will see you at the show Saturday. Now, yes, Tim Hortons.
I love me some Tim Hortons, man.
Oh, boy. There are very few days in my life that don't get started with an extra large steep tea from Tim Hortons with 1 milk and a half sugar. So as long as I've got your order, I'll have your Tim Hortons ready.
Timmy's for the win, baby. Timmy's for the win. Y'all come see us in Canada for the high school dropout reunion, baby. It's happening. Let's go.
I just got to make sure my son's just about to graduate high school next week. I'm not going to show him this interview
Don't
until
tell
he's
him.
got his.
Don't tell him.
Chase, you and I have had a chance to record before and have a chit chat. This one might be even more fun than the first, and that's saying something. Where do people follow you on socials?
Man, my Instagram is at I am Chase Matthew. That's Chase Matthew, Mathew. No S, 2 T's, no S. That's it. If it don't got a check mark, it ain't me.
Now, I have 2 lingering thoughts. First of all, I'm not sure how I'm going to get in the venue carrying a Tim Hortons. They might take that from me, but I'll try.
We'll bring you through the back door, brother. You're cool. You know that. I'm sure you know a guy. If you don't know a guy, he knows you.
You want me to try the I'm with the band line and see how it goes?
This is the band's coffee. Do you want the band to be mad at you, sir, for not letting you through the door?
I'm just going to hold up this interview and let the security guys see it and see how it goes.
That'll work.
Chase Matthew, you're a lot of fun. Now, where do people find the music?
Anywhere on social media I'm sorry, not social media, but anywhere that you could find music, I'm there. You know, whether that's YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Google Play, Amazon, wherever you listen to it, I'm there. I promise.
Well, I think there's been a lot of good messages. Show up for the show Saturday in Toronto. It's the official kickoff of summer. Chase Matthew will be there in support of Keith Urban. And chase your dreams, kids, whether it's music, it doesn't matter what it is. Chase your dreams. Plan A is always the plan. Stick with it, right?
Absolutely.
Right on, Chase. Listen, I appreciate it. I can't wait to see you on the weekend.
I'll see you soon, Paul.